Welcome back to Google Class. Dear students, viewers, how are you? Today I am going to discuss with Transfer of Property Act. Okay, this chapter is last chapter in this Transfer of Property Act. Okay, section 130 to 137. Section 132, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137. This section included in this chapter. Okay. Chapter is of transfers of actionable claims or transfers of actionable claims. Transfers of actionable claims. Okay, transfers of actionable claims. Here in this chapter explain section 3 of the Transfer of Property Act and section 130 to 137. Why? Because we are discussing this section 3. This section 3 explain about TP Act interpretation classes. Okay, this section 3 also explain TP Act defines actionable claims. Okay, so and this TP Act 1882 defines further, it explain this chapter 8th of TP Act under section 130 to 130, from 130 to 137. Okay, let's see definition of section 3. Okay, actionable claim, actionable claim, ACTIONABLE, actionable claim. You can see the name itself. Action means doing something. Actionable claims means any one of receiving from various sources. Okay, that is common meaning. Okay, as per the TP Act, section 3 explain about actionable claims. The actionable claims means a claim to any debt. Okay, means a claim to any debt other than a debt secured by mortgage of immovable property or by hypothecation or pledge of movable property or to any beneficial interest in movable property not in possession, either actual or constructive, okay, of the claimant, which the civil court recognize as affording grounds for relief, whether such debt, DEPT, debt, or beneficial interest be existent, accruing, conditional, or contingent. Okay, so this above meanings are included in the section 3. Okay, what about section 130? Explain about transfer of property. This also actionable claim. Here section 130 of TP Act explain about same transfer of actionable claim. Here section 130 subclause 1, 130 subclause 2, para 1, para 2 is available. The first part, section 130 subclause 1, explain about the transfer of an actionable claim, whether with or without consideration. Note that point, with or without consideration. Consideration means money, transaction money. Okay, with or without consideration shall be effected only by the execution of an instrument executing the deed, okay, in writing, signed by the transferor, or is duly authorized agent, any one of the representative agent, okay, shall be complete and effectual upon the execution of such instrument, and thereupon all the rights and remedies of the transferor, whether by way of damages or otherwise, shall vest in the transferee, whether such notice of the transfer as hereinafter provided be given or not. Okay, and provided that every dealing with the debt or other actionable claim by the debtor or other person from or against whom the transferor would, but for such instrument of transfer as aforesaid, have been entitled to recover or enforce such debt or other actionable claim, okay, be valid as against such transfer. And next, section 130 subclause 2 explain about the transferee of an actionable claim may, upon the execution of such instrument of transfer as aforesaid, sue, or sue means file, or instituted proceedings for the same in his own name without obtaining the transferor's consent to such suit or proceedings, and without making him a party thereto. Okay, the above section 130 subclause 1 subclause 2 explaining the bare act of the TP Act. Okay, this is the act. Okay, there is no changes at all, this act. Okay, so based on this act only we all follow. Okay, so act clearly indicated what is this, what is that. Okay, okay, based on this act I will give you illustration 1 and 2, then it is easy to understand. Okay, the illustration section 130, based on this 130 illustration, A means A is a person, B is a person. Okay, here this illustration containing A owes money to B, okay, who transfers the debt to C. Okay, here three persons is available, A, B, C. A owes money to B, who transfers the debt to C. B then demands the debt from A, who, not having notice of the transfer as prescribed in section 131 of TP Act, pays B. Okay, their payment is valid and C cannot sue A for the debt. Okay, and another illustration here also, A and B, not A and B, this executors based on this section 130 of the TP Act. A effects a policy. Okay, this is policy. What are the policy? I will give you. A affects a policy on his own life with an insurance company like LIC, ICICI Prudential, Kodak Mahindra, many insurance companies available. Okay, so these are all claims. Okay, A affects a policy on his own life with an insurance company and assigns it to a bank for securing the payment of without the concurrence of A's executor, subject to the provision on subsection 1 of section 130 and to the provisions of section 132 of Transfer of Property Act. Okay, and another important points, the examples of actionable claims and non-actionable claims also available. Okay, what are the actionable claims as per the TP Act? I will give you one by one. The simple one, easy to understand. We are facing in our regular life also. Okay, it is not a new one. The example for actionable claims is number 1, claim for arrears of rent. Okay, what does that mean? Claims of arrears of rent. If any one of the person tenant not paying regularly monthly rent, the owner of the person to collect arrear of the rent also. This is also actionable claims. Okay, and the second one, claim for benefit arising out of a contract for the purchase of goods. Okay, benefit arising out of contract for the purchase of goods. Okay, based on this contract, if any one of the product purchasing the goods, that benefit will be arising. Okay, that also claiming purpose. Claim for benefit arising out of a contract for the purchase of goods. Number 3, share in partnership. If any one of the person to put his own money to share, sometimes partnership shares also available. That time, if any one of the interest, the partnership deposited their monies, for example you and me, or 3 persons partnership start a company. Based on this company partnership, they are deposited any one of the share company, they deposit money. Okay, they are automatically claiming what are the benefit comes from the shares? Interest. Okay, so an interest of the partner in a dissolved partnership I am. Okay, a share in partnership. And second thing, a share in partnership, interest of the partner in a dissolved partnership I am. For example, if any one of the firm partnership firm sometimes winding up of the company, what will happen that time? Who is the shareholder, who is the partner? So the partners dividing his own shares. So this is also actionable claims as per the 130 of TP Act. And then a claim for return of earnest deposit. Then next one, a fixed deposit in a bank or post office. Any one of the person deposit fixed amount 1 lakh rupees in bank or post office saving bank account. The fixed here also fixed amount also. For example, I myself deposited for example A or B, any one of the person deposit money 2 lakhs rupees to the post office or any saving bank account. Fixed means a tenure, a duration 2 years or 1 year deposit. 1 lakh deposit, the interest also calculated along with plus 2% or 10%, something like whatever it may be, as per the law in force, as per the RBI guidelines. Okay, So after today they are depositing the money. After 1 year, what will happen? 1 lakh plus interest. So that amount is a claim amount. Okay. So a fixed deposit in a bank or post office. This also actionable claims. And then a claim to money due under an insurance policy. Yes, if any one of the person insure the policy, if anything happens, is claiming the policy. Okay, for example, many people are insured his own policy at the time of medical or any lifetime. If any occurs, they will claim. So this also actionable claims. A right to the proceeds of business. Okay, a right to the proceeds of business. And then both ordinary and endowment life policy. In insurance, no, ordinary policy, endowment policy. Endowment policy is the death of death benefit. Ordinary policy means yearly something like 2 years once, or ordinary policy. Okay, you know very well, many policies available. Okay, periodical policy, mediclaim policy, endowment policy. Okay, sometimes if emergency death occurs, the principal amount and the claiming amount also deposited. Okay, that is ordinary policy. So the based on this policy is available, so these policy also claiming money from the insurer. Okay, the respective company, insurance company. And then provident fund. If any one of the person working some area, okay, those employees working from many industry, okay, or any government or state or central government, or any private sector also, public sector also, that person's receiving a provident amount after the retirement. Okay, the provident fund amount payable after the retirement only. Okay, if the provident fund is paid before retirement, it cannot be treated as an actionable claim. After the retirement only, that PF, the provident money, will be claimed. Okay. Next one, usufructuary mortgages. Liability to pay the mortgage or the balance left after paying the mortgages creditors. And last one, yeah, hire purchase agreement, etc. Okay, hire purchase agreement, you know very well, hire purchase agreement. Okay, that's all. These are all actionable claims. Okay, what are the not the actionable claims? The following are not actionable claims. Number one is claim to copyright. What is the meaning of copyright? I think we already studied earlier portion also. I think introduction of the Transfer of Property Act, I clearly explained in our classroom also. Okay, copyright, any one of the person writing capacity or any art books or written books, nobody will copy. Okay, he will not claim to copyright. Share in a company, share also nobody will claim. Okay, not the actionable claims. Shares in a company, claim to mechanic profits, you know very well, mechanic profits, the benefited are joined into the mortgagee. For example, if any one of the property, based on this property I mortgaged to mortgagee, because security purpose I gave one property to mortgagee, I got loan from mortgagee. That time they attached with the property many fruits or etc benefited things are enjoying the mortgagee. Okay, I will not disturbing. Okay, these are all claim not actionable claims. Mortgage debt, mere right to sue, right to recover property, right to recover profits from a co-share. Okay, co-sharer. These are all not the actionable claims. Once again, I will tell you, not the actionable claim means claim to copyright, shares in a company, claim to missing profits, mortgaged debt, mere right to sue. Mere right to sue. Mere right to sue is ordinary rights, okay, to filing a suits. Right to recover profits from a co-sharer, etc., etc. Okay. Okay, and then another part of this section 130 explain about mode of transfer. What is the mode of transfer here? The assignment of an actionable claims should be in writing. Okay, should be in writing only. It need not be registered. Okay, should be in writing, need not be registered, but it must be signed by the transferor or by his authorized agent. For example, if any one of the person to take policy, insurance policy, that time what will happen? Why? Because I am giving this simple example. It is easy to understand. Many of the persons know this insurance policy. Okay, at the time of insurance agent, he sign only and policy holder also sign, that's all. There is no registration at all. Okay, only signing purpose, that's all. Authorized agent, that is called authorized company, authorized agent. And capacity to sue. And the next point, capacity to sue, that means capacity to file the case. Okay, so the transferee can sue in his own name without making the transferor a party to the suit. Okay, and next point, notice. Section 131 of TP Act explain about provides that every notice of transfer of an actionable claim shall be in writing, signed by the transferor or his agent duly authorized in this behalf, or in case the transferor refuses to sign, by the transferee or his agent, and shall states the name and address of the transferee. That enough. Okay, and next point, liability. Section 132 of TP Act explain about liability. Okay, what are the liability? The provides TP Act 1882, liability of the transferee of an actionable claim. Based on this section 132, the transferee of an actionable claim shall take it subject to all the liabilities and equities to which the transferor was subject to in respect thereof at the date of the transfer. Okay, I'll give you illustration based on this section 132. Here, A transfers to C debt due to him by B. Okay, A transferred to C debt due to him by B. Here, A being then indebted to B, and then C sues means files B for the debt due by B to A. In such suit, B is unaware of it at the date of such transfer. Clear? A transfer to C debt due to him by B. A being then indebted to B. C sues for the debt due by B to A. In such a suit, B is unaware of it at the date of such transfer. Okay. Number one illustration. The second illustration, A executed a bond in favor of B. A executed in favor of B under circumstances entitling the former. Okay. Sorry. A executed a bond in favor of B under circumstances entitling the former to have it delivered up and cancelled. B assigns the bond to C for value, and without notice of such a circumstance, B cannot enforce the bond against A. Okay. This is what section 132 explain. Okay. Okay, students, we'll discuss next chapter in next video class. Okay, take care. Bye, students. Wish you all the best. Thank you.